What's going on, guys? Welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to talk a little bit about why you aren't seeing results. Before we get started, make sure to go ahead and subscribe to my channel so that you can see every weekly upload that I post. I'm starting to post a lot more informational stuff because I've gotten a ton of requests for that. Workout footage, diet stuff, all of that kind of stuff. And then make sure to also follow me on all of my social media accounts so you can keep up with me on a day-to-day basis. So today we are going to talk a little bit about why you aren't seeing results. So the new year was just around the corner. We are coming to the end of January, and some people have been messaging me, sending me emails, Twitter, Snapchat, all of that kind of stuff, and asking like, what is up? Because I see you're getting results really fast, you're getting lean, and I'm not seeing results at all. So I wanted to make a video about it so I can kind of explain some of the things that might be happening, why you aren't seeing results, and then kind of simple fixes for those things. Number one, why you might not be seeing results is because of your diet. So there's so many myths, there's so many diets, there's so many things that you can look up on the internet, and it's hard to figure out what is going on, what is the right thing to do to lose weight, see results, gain muscle, whatever. Okay, there's so much information out there, and it's so hard to like search off it and see what you should be doing because there's so many trends and stuff to do. So basically, you're either eating too much or you're eating too little. So if you are a female, you're most likely not eating enough. I say this because just almost every single client that I've worked with, they are not eating enough to actually see results because their body's working against them. If you don't eat enough food, especially carbohydrates, your body just goes into a starvation mode and it just kind of holds all the fat because it's like, when am I going to be able to eat next? And that's totally working against you. It slows down your metabolism, and that's probably why you're not seeing results. Also, on the other hand, you could be eating too much. So you could be eating too much to where the workouts and cardio and all that stuff that you're doing, it's kind of counteracting each other and you're just kind of at a stalling point. So an easy way to fix this would be to go look up a calorie counter, macro calculator, something like that. Kind of figure out what your maintenance is and go from there. I'd recommend, if you can, go ahead and get someone to help you with this, someone that's like has experience with this, because if you go from eating a tiny amount to what you should be, and it's going to be this huge amount that you're jumping from, you're going to your body's going to kind of fight you on it, and you might not see the results you're looking for. Also, if you go from eating way too much to this tiny amount, again, your body's going to freak out and you're not going to see results. So it's it's a gradual process of going from where you are to where you should be. So that's why I say get help if you can. But look up a macro calculator, kind of see what you should be taking in and go from there, because most likely you're not eating the optimal amount that you should to see results. Another thing that may be happening with your diet and why you're not seeing results is that you may be eating foods that aren't really optimal for your body. So something that happens a lot when people count their macros or count their calories is they start eating a lot of processed foods. I am definitely guilty of this, and I've gotten a lot better, but something that happens is that your calories are low or your macros are low, and you're not really used to it, and then you find these really yummy foods that fit into your macros, like complete cookies or protein bars or like low carb ice cream and stuff like that. They are like sweet treats, and you end up using all of your macros or your calories by eating those foods, and you get to the end of the day and you're like, crap, like that's all I've eaten for the day. And this happens a lot with people, is that they just eat processed foods to hit their macros or hit their calories, and that can be an issue because if you're only eating mostly processed foods, or like 50% of your food that you eat for the day is processed, it's gonna affect you because your body can't break down that stuff as fast, and it's not nutritious for your body, so it's gonna not fuel you as much, and it's putting a lot of artificial chemical-y stuff into your body. So I would recommend that you try to take an 80-20 approach, or I do a 90-10 approach. So 90% clean food, 10% not as clean food, like processed food. So I have seen a huge difference when I go from whole foods, natural foods, and then eating mostly processed foods. Whenever I switched over to trying to eat mostly natural foods, I have seen such a humongous difference. And I know it sucks, like in your mind, you're like, crap, I can't have that cookie, I can't have that ice cream, I can't have that protein bar, I can't have this, I can't have that. But in my mind, like, it's worth it to feel and look so much better rather than having those foods, because I know I can have this, like, one of those fun foods a day, eat mostly whole foods, and feel so much better. Like, that just makes more sense in my mind, because I want to look and feel better. Like, that's the whole thing with living a healthy lifestyle, is that you want to look and feel good. And whenever you're eating mostly processed foods, you just don't feel or look that good. Last thing with your diet that I want to talk about is digestion. This kind of goes hand in hand with processed and whole natural foods. Digestion is a huge thing that a lot of people do not talk about. Me, myself, I have irritable bowel syndrome. So basically that means that my stomach and gastrointestinal system is very sensitive to things. So basically, and I found some of the things that I'm sensitive to, like garlic, onion, dairy, a lot of gluten if I have like a ton of gluten, little things like that, especially onion and garlic, really bug me. And for like a whole week after I have that stuff, I will have digestive issues. And it's so crazy that our body is so sensitive to things, but it's something that I've had to deal with and kind of figure out what my body is kind of sensitive to. I can still have dairy, I can still have gluten, I can still have these things, but in very small amounts, because if I do have those in bigger amounts, if I have a whole bunch of dairy in one day, or if I have dairy and onion and garlic and then something else that bothers my stomach, I will be messed up for like a week and a half, and my digestion will be so off. I'll be bloated, gassy, and it's just bad. So I encourage you to take a look. If you're constantly feeling bloated or digestive issues are happening, take a look, write down everything you eat if you're not already, and figure out what's messing you up, figure out what's irritating you, and just have it in smaller amounts, and just figure out how you can make your diet work best for your digestion. Next thing I'm going to talk about, sleep. So sleep plays such a huge role in everything. So you need to get more than 6 hours of sleep every single night. And I know that some of you are like, that's absolutely impossible. I'm a college student, I work, blah, 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 blah. I feel you, girl. I feel you. Because I had a full-time job, plus going to school, plus trying to do this whole fitness thing, and I was getting 4 to 5 hours of sleep a night. I gained 10 pounds. 10 pounds. I looked horrible. On my short little 4'11" body, 10 pounds looks like a lot of weight on me. For someone that's super tall, obviously it wouldn't look like that big of a deal, but for a short person, it looks like a lot. I looked bad, I felt bad, it was horrible. I was going back into my super anxiety, depression state, and literally eating, workouts, everything was off because my sleep was off. So I understand it can be so difficult to get sleep in, but I'm going to talk about this. James and I are going to do a video together next week. I'm going to talk about all the things with sleep as far as productivity, like getting work done, how it affects your brain, and then on my side, how it affects your diet, your workouts, your weight loss results, everything like that. So I'm going to make a whole video about that because it's so important to me that I let you guys know all the crazy things that sleep does for your body. But just know that you need to be getting more than 6 hours of sleep a night, because if you're not, you're not going to see results. Lastly, we're going to talk about form and technique. So a lot of people, whenever I first started doing fitness, I got results like that. I put on muscle so fast, and that was from newbie gains. I can make a whole video about newbie gains, but basically you can lose fat and gain muscle for a certain amount of time whenever you first start your fitness journey. After about 2 months though, not possible to gain muscle and lose fat at the same time. Not possible. I'm gonna say it again. It's not possible. So, whenever I first started lifting, I gained muscle like crazy from newbie gains, but then also within the first year of lifting, I gained so much muscle, and people were like, "Are you on steroids? Do you take testosterone?" Stuff like that. They thought I was on something, and I'm like, no. I just learned how to work out properly. I see people in the gym all the time, I see them in there every day, working really hard, but they're not doing things as effective as possible, to where they could be seeing so much more results. So while I'm talking about this, I'm gonna play a clip of my last workout that I just did. It was a push day. A pull day. I did back, biceps, and glutes. So I'm gonna be playing that footage. Please pay attention to how slow I go, how I squeeze my muscles with every single repetition, how I'm paying attention to my form, and I'm going really, really slowly. I'm gonna play everything at its natural speed. I usually speed up my clips, but I'm not going to, so you guys can see what I'm talking about. Basically, if you have proper form and technique, you're putting in less effort, less time, but you're seeing more results. My workouts never last more than an hour for my lifting sessions. Legs sometimes goes a little bit over, but kind of depends what I'm doing that day. As far as upper body, I normally only take 40 to 45 minutes. If it goes to an hour, like it was really intense, and I was taking more rest period time. Basically, the first thing that you need to understand is mind-muscle connection. Mind-muscle connection is really engaging your mind to your muscles with what you're doing. So paying attention to how your muscles are moving, how your muscles are feeling, and imagining them like contracting, relaxing, all that kind of stuff. You need to be like engaged, because whenever you're engaged in your mind, you actually recruit more muscle fibers to the muscle that's working. So it's like literally just by engaging your mind, paying attention, thinking about what's going on, you're recruiting more muscle fibers to there, you're getting more results. Secondly, along with the mind muscle connection, if you first engage that, your form is probably going to be pretty darn good. But making sure that you have proper form and technique is like the most important thing. I gained muscle so quickly, and I still gain muscle in my upper body so quickly. It's really annoying. I'm trying not to gain muscle anymore in my upper body. But I gained muscle so quickly in my upper body. And yes, it's a little bit genetics, but I've gotten people that tell me, you have naturally rounded shoulders. You have a naturally muscular back. No, you can't. It's impossible to have naturally rounded shoulders, a naturally muscular back. That's bullshit. So, and I've literally had friends that lift tell me that. No, like that's from pure work, and it's from proper form and technique. Every single lifting session, I make sure that my form is 100% all the time, or if it's not, I will decrease the weight. One of the biggest things that I was annoyed with working as an in-person trainer and what I see in the gym all the time is that people think that they need to lift the heaviest weights they can, and that that's going to get you results. Absolutely not. So the most important thing, it doesn't matter how much weight you lift, it's the form and technique that matters. And people don't realize that. It's like they think that they just need to throw heavy weight around, and it's like, you can, but you're not going to see results. Like, you have to go slow. You have to make sure it's correct. You have to make sure you're engaging your mind, you're squeezing your muscles in order to actually see those results. And I promise you, your progress is gonna just speed up like crazy. I promise you, if you use proper form and technique and you engage your mind, you're gonna see so much more results, and you won't need to be in the gym for 2-3 hours, because the exercises that you're doing with the proper form and technique is gonna be so effective that you don't need to work that long. You don't need to do that many sets. You don't need to do that many exercises. It's just getting everything to be as effective as it possibly can, and you're gonna see results so much faster, I promise. Those are some of the reasons why you might not be seeing results at this point in time, and hopefully those tips help y'all out and you get to see results a lot faster. If there's anything specifically that y'all want me to answer, please leave a comment down below. I want to be talking with you guys and informing you guys and giving y'all tips and everything like that. So please, if you have any questions, anything like that, just ask me below or ask me on Snapchat, Instagram, Twitter, whatever. So I know this video was kind of long, but all of these things I am very passionate about, and so I wanted to hit them all accurately, make sure that I was giving you guys as much information as I can. So please be looking out for the next video where I talk about sleep, because y'all need to hear about it, and I guess I will talk to y'all in the next one.